The Ballad of ellaidhoo, a Maldives nightmare in five-star disguise. Oh, gather round, my fellow travellers, and let me spin you a tale so tragic, so absurd, it could only be true. A saga of broken promises, oceanic terrors, and the kind of customer service that makes you question if you've accidentally wandered into a satire of capitalism. This, my darlings, is the story of ellaidhoo, Maldives by Cinnamon, a resort so inept, so gleefully disappointing. It's as if they studied how to ruin a vacation and then wrote the textbook on it. Let us begin with the journey, because oh, what a journey it was. Picture this: you land in paradise, or so you think. The sun is shining, the air smells of salt and sunscreen dreams. You are handed over to the resort's care, and that when the first red flag waves violently in your face. The speedboat transfer, a 2.5-hour ordeal through waves so rough, you think Poseidon himself had a personal vendetta against you. The captain, bless his soul, announces midway that the sea is too angry, as if the ocean's mood swings where-NT forecastable, and turns the boat around. No apology, no empathy, just a shrug and a what can you do? As if you, the paying guest, are the unreasonable one for expecting basic safety. But wait, it gets worse. Upon returning to the airport, yes, you've gone nowhere, the staff's solution is to wait, just wait, for hours. No food, no updates, no here's a complimentary coffee for your trauma. And when you, rightfully terrified of a repeat nautical disaster, beg for a seaplane, sorry, not available, the only option, a private charter for the low price of $2,500, payable only in cash, only by one person, and only after you've been sent on a scavenger hunt to exchange currency with shady airport hustlers. Classy. Finally, 8 hours later you arrive at the resort, exhausted, shaken, and what's your welcome gift? A 5-minute spa voucher. 5 minutes, as if that's enough to undo the psychological damage of nearly capsizing in the Indian Ocean. The staff, cold as the leftover breakfast they later hand you as a takeaway, because nothing says luxury like day-old pastries in a napkin. Now, let us talk about the villas. Advertised as serene over-water escapes, but in reality, more like rocky prison cells. No stairs into the water, just jagged coral waiting to slice your feet open. The snorkeling gear. 8 a day for foggy masks and broken straps, because why wouldn't you charge extra for the privilege of seeing the reef they've clearly neglected? And the staff, oh, the staff. If resting villain face were a resort policy, ellaidhoo would win awards. Honeymooners treated like nuisances, birthdays ignored despite passport proof, and managers who think about complaints like they're pondering the meaning of life only to do nothing. The chefs, lovely, the housekeepers, angels, everyone else, as helpful as a screen door on a submarine. The food, repetitive, the transfers, chaotic enough to make you miss your international flight. Yes, really, the child policy. A scam charging for unused nights after kicking out an 11-year-old alone. The entertainment, non-existent. The vibes, we hate you, give us money. So here we are, my fellow wanderers. A resort that takes thousands of your dollars and repays you with indifference, incompetence and insult. The house reef is pretty, sure, but when the highlight of your stay is fish, you know you've been scammed. ellaidhoo, Maldives by Cinnamon, you are not a 5-star resort, you are a cautionary tale, and to anyone reading this, run up.
The reality of businesses near ellaidhoo, Maldives by Cinnamon. Let's talk about the businesses near ellaidhoo, Maldives by Cinnamon. If you're expecting vibrancy, efficiency, or even basic hospitality, lower those expectations. This isn't about 1 or 2 bad apples, this is about a pattern. A disappointing, frustrating pattern. Take Centro, for example. Shopping near ellaidhoo feels like wandering through a ghost town. Stores are closed, floors are dirty, and the few places still open seem to exist out of obligation rather than service. One visitor described it as a mall with no maintenance for years, where even the parking area was unclean. Another mentioned that aside from a single chocolate shop, there was nothing there. 3 restaurants operate inside, but reviews warn of abysmal quality. If you were hoping for retail therapy, prepare for retail depression. Then there's C'est La Vie Cafe. Restaurants here don't just test your patience, they obliterate it. Guests report waiting up to 2 hours for basic meals, sandwiches arriving cold, and orders, like fruit plates, being forgotten entirely. The kitchen's pace is glacial and the food, forgettable. One diner summed it up: everything is very slow and not tasty. The only consistency here is inconsistency. But let's talk about the resort itself, ellaidhoo, Maldives by Cinnamon. The staff's attitude is baffling. Guests describe interactions ranging from indifference to outright hostility. Honeymooners treated like nuisances, families ignored, and complaints met with shrugged shoulders. One guest, after a near-death speedboat transfer, yes, really, was handed a 5-minute spa voucher as compensation. The absurdity would be funny if it weren't so insulting. Then there's Sub-6, the underwater restaurant that should be magical. Instead, guests complain of dirty windows obscuring the view and food that's, at best, mediocre. One review simply said, Arabic alif, Arabic lam, Arabic alif, Arabic kaf, Arabic lam, Arabic sin, Arabic yet, Arabic hamzat layat, Arabic jim, Arabic dal, Arabic alif. The food is very bad. When diners are more focused on smudged glass than seascapes, something's gone wrong. And don't get me started on Island Bazaar. Shopping should be easy. But here, rude staff, dismissive service, and an atmosphere that makes you feel unwelcome. One customer walked in excited, walked out furious, vowing never to return. Another called the staff's attitude disgusting. Not exactly the souvenir experience you'd hope for. So what's the takeaway? Businesses near ellaidhoo are at best underwhelming. At worst, they're actively working against your enjoyment. Slow service, indifference, and a lack of care seem to be the norm. If you're staying here, manage your expectations. Bring your own snacks, pack your patience, and maybe, just maybe, lower your standards to sea level. Because in this corner of paradise, perfection is, well, let's just say it's swimming somewhere else.
Okay, so I was, looking into things around ellaidhoo Maldives by Cinnamon. Maldives, just because. And it's kinda depressing, honestly. It's not like violent crime everywhere, but there are things. Businesses near ellaidhoo, they tend to be these little souvenir shops and dive centers, right? Cute, you'd think. But some of them, well. Businesses around here, they often inflate prices for tourists massively. It's like they see someone with a sunburn and a camera and just assume. There was this one case, a couple from Germany, they bought some carved wooden turtles near ellaidhoo. They paid $150 for two. Later, they walked into a similar shop a bit further inland, the kind of place locals actually go to, and saw the exact same turtles for $30. Can you believe that? How could someone even? It's just wrong. They probably felt so stupid, I bet they tried to go back and complain, but the shop owner probably just shrugged or pretended not to understand. And honestly, that shop probably just continued to rip off the next tourists who walked in. It's just the cycle never ends. Then, near ellaidhoo Maldives, businesses sometimes have these special offers on jewelry. Genuine pearls, they say, but they ray not, of course. They ray glass beads painted to look shiny. A British family bought a necklace for their daughter, thinking it was a real pearl. Back home, they took it to a jeweler and found out it was worth $2. $2. They were so upset, especially because it was a gift for their little girl. I imagine they left a bad review online, maybe. But the shop, it's probably still there, selling fake pearls to unsuspecting people, because who's going to check? And this is kinda sad, actually. Shops around ellaidhoo, they sometimes add extra charges to your bill when you pay with card. It's a small amount, usually, 5 or 10. They say it's a processing fee or something, but it's just straight up theft. A French tourist noticed it, luckily, and questioned it. They argued for ages, and eventually the shop owner reluctantly took it off. But I bet lots of people don't even notice. They just see the total on their credit card statement and think it's correct. They probably just shrug it off as a bank fee, and the shop owner gets away with it. I mean, it's not a